Are you worried about the harm that radiation is doing to you from everyday things like mobile phones, microwave ovens, and total thermonuclear warfare? Well, stop and worry no more, because I found a guy who can protect you. A good friend of this channel, Mr. Mohammed Shafiq, pointed me at another channel called Being Iwi. It's an absolute goldmine, so massive thanks, Mohammed. Also, great thanks to my patrons. With massive thanks to all my patrons, including new patrons Nicola Redmond, AZ Atheist, Grumpy Old Man, Hugh Jars, Larry XK, Yuha Escalinen, Purple Rhymes with Orange, Tim Nicholas, Roy C and Patricia Desangelis, and my latest patrons, the Key Weasel and Lucas Hoy. Thank you all so very much. Thank goodness Being Iwi is now on our radar, because that means we can protect ourselves against the horrors of radiation. Roll VT.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Dan from Being Iwi. I hope you're all good.
Not so bad, thanks Dan.
Now this video is an information video. The information is about how to protect from radiation and some ideas, some tips.
Well, with your lighting, it looks like you're living right next to some nuclear power station. Tip number one would be not to.
If you haven't seen one of the videos,
then you're probably blessed.
I suggest you watch them, because that'll explain to you more of why I'm giving you information on how to protect from radiation without saying any of the other words that we know we're not allowed to say.
What, like bum, willy and boobies?
These glasses.
So are these.
I don't know if you can see it there, but I know I can. But they have a blue tint to them. These protect they basically stop 100% blue light.
You should order a pair of Jujan to 200 superchromatic peril sensitive sunglasses, which are specifically designed to help people develop a relaxed attitude to danger. At the first sign of trouble, they turn totally black and thus prevent you from seeing anything that might alarm you.
Now the blue light stops your pineal gland from creating melatonin.
Yes, and melatonin can affect your sleep pattern. That's why lots of mobile phones have a blue light mode, so that if you're using them late at night, you're not going to upset your sleep pattern.
So it's basically affecting your pineal gland. We need the pineal gland to receive information.
You say what?
I'm not going to get into that now.
Oh.
But that's what it does. We receive downloads, information from light waves from the sun. Upgrades and all that, but I'm not going to get into that.
That sounded really interesting. I suppose you better tell us how to protect against radiation then.
Next is this here. You won't be able to read it because it's upside down because of the camera, but what this is, it's a powder.
I'm wondering how much per kilo that is.
As you can see, I've not opened it. This is military grade powder.
What, as opposed to home use grade powder?
And as it states, it is contamination kit personal. So this is instructions for use, shelter from the wind, squeeze the puffer bottle with the nozzle about 6 inches from the item. You only need thin layer of powder.
Is that when you make it into nice little lines and go looking for a £10 note?
Now what this does is, if you're contaminated with radiation, ideally it's like downfall from a nuclear blast or something like that.
Oh yeah, a nuclear blast. That would be ideal. And you don't get contaminated with radiation. You receive radiation and you get contaminated with radioactive material.
But it works the same way. If you really do feel completely contaminated, this stuff's good.
Well, I guess if it isn't any good and you die of radiation poisoning, Amazon are quite good at returns.
If you do feel contaminated with radiation, let's say you go out and you feel like you've had, been contaminated.
So perhaps you noticed that the centre of town was destroyed in a thermonuclear explosion and you notice yourself covered in ash perhaps.
What you do is you You'll go home, you'll take your clothes off, you'll wash them. But when you have a wash, you have a shower, use soapy water, that's fine.
And just for your information, that powder doesn't destroy radiation or radioactive material. It absorbs radioactive material so that it can be removed from your body.
It sounds crazy all this, but this is how you must stop being radiated.
Anyway, I'm more interested now in everyday worries of radiation, because in my lifetime the number of times I've had to be concerned with a thermonuclear device going off is none, and I counted it twice. What I want to see is some DIY PPE. You've got some fancy material, haven't you?
It's like 1 metre by 1 metre, 0.1 or something. You can see how big it is. So if it comes to doing trousers, you could literally put it around.
Are you a tailor? From Savile Row?
Cut it, sew it, do it again, join it, and then you'll just...
Look like a total dork. I'm not sure which I prefer. Walking around in trousers like that, or dying horribly of radiation sickness.
See what I mean? That's just one of them that I bought. This is just one of them. So you could do it, cut it, do everything. Anyone that does sewing or out like that, it'd be even easier. It's very thin, it's easy to cut and all that. It's very, very good.
Sorry, pal. Until I see that on the fashion runway, I'll be giving that one a miss.
The hat that I wear.
That's more like it. First order of business, protect your brain if you have one.
You need to get yourself some material. This material protects from radiation frequencies.
Okay.
You might call it RF material. You might call it EMF material.
I call it material for a YouTube debunking video.
It's all good. It's strong. I've actually put that up at my windows.
Very tasteful. Does it come in Laura Ashley pattern as well?
You literally cut a certain size, get it in your hat, push it all in, cut as much off as you can, and then you'll stick it down. Make sure you cover the peak as well, so you've got it on the peak.
Well, I really hope you do a step-by-step video to explain this to us.
Yeah, so it's all there, and then you'll just cut off any excess, yeah? Glue it. I'm going to glue it with the, it's obviously upside down, but UHU glue. That'll work. You might be able to get some upholstery glue maybe. I'm not too sure. You'll have to figure that out. But yeah, so that is so when you put your hat on, you've got good protection down into your brain.
Making sure there's a brain in there in the first place. Okay, how to make a radiation hat. Food shortages, forced vaccines, the real plan to take over the world, face recognition as to... Oh, there we go. Radiation hat. How to make a frequency protection hat.
So this video is quickly going to show you how I make the protective hat. Radiation protection, okay?
Excellent. And I've got a hat ready.
More layers the better, I would obviously suggest, but this is just the one layer. And that's it stuck in now, drying.
Oh, that's hardly a step-by-step guide, is it?
So, how do we get to that? Quite simple. You get your material, cut it to whatever size you want, so you know it's definitely going to fit in the hat.
Oh, I don't have any of that radiation cloth. I'll have to skip that bit.
You'll get your material, the size that you've cut. Yeah, whatever size, obviously not this much, but you get, if you've got this kind of glue, you put it on, wherever you need to, all around, wherever it needs to be. Now I would recommend, if you've only got this glue, get a brush so you can brush it all on, so it covers all the surface so it sticks good.
Okay, we want it to stick good.
So once you've got your glue all on that, you've cut it to size, you've put your glue on it, now you've got your hat. Now the hat's still made of material, so it still caves in a little bit. Now you want to be able to get the shape of the hat. So what I would do is, like, I've got a few pieces here, because I use a lot of tinfoil.
Somehow, that doesn't surprise me.
use this as a protective layer. So when you put that in there, and you'll put your glue on, you'll push it in a little bit, make sure all your top parts are covered, so you know it's not going to go too far low down. And then you'll add a piece of tinfoil just like that. So when you put it on your head and push it down and get your shape, so obviously I'll show you, but don't take my word for it. This is just advice. I know it looks silly, don't laugh.
Believe me, I wouldn't dream of laughing at you.
So then you've got your shape. So you're going to leave that to then dry. After you've done that, you can then cut all off the edges, and even the back bit, you'll cut that bit out just so it looks better.
If you cut that whole bit out, won't the radiation sneak in there?
Yeah, and then after that you can cut off what you need, attach more bits to the peak if you need, which I'm sure you will. More the merrier. You know, better, thicker, more layers, better.
Do you know what, Dan? I don't think this is enough protection. I've got an idea. Now that's what I call protection. It also protects against coronavirus.
And I hope that helped you. I hope you're loving each other and loving that sunshine.
I feel like a roast chicken. Anyway, cheers. Bugger.
Shut up and sit down.